In Stoic Men, Tribe today, we're tapping into a powerful truth, a moment of inner strength, sharp clarity and timeless wisdom. Don't skip any part of this video. Share your thoughts in the comment. Please do us a favor by hitting the subscribe button, like and turn on notifications, so you never miss an update. Note, these are not flaws. These are struggles, real and human, and each one carries the potential for incredible strength. The reality beneath the surface. In a world that constantly tells women to be everything at once, strong but soft, bold but quiet, successful but selfless, many carry a hidden weight. Not because they are weak, but because they carry too much for too long without asking for help, without being heard. This isn't about putting women down. It's about bringing light to the silent battles they often fight. Because to acknowledge these struggles is not to shame them. It's to set them free. And as the philosopher Simone de Beauvoir said, one is not born, but rather becomes a woman. And in that becoming, there is struggle. But there is also power. Let's explore 10 common struggles, what some may call weaknesses, and the strength hidden within them. Please do us a favor by hitting the subscribe button. For one, over-apologizing. For many women grow up being taught to shrink themselves, to apologize for taking up space, for speaking too loud, for having needs. Sorry becomes a reflex, even when they've done nothing wrong. But here's the truth. Apologizing for existing is not humility. It's conditioning. And unlearning it is the first step to reclaiming voice. 2. People-pleasing. She says yes, even when she's exhausted. She stretches herself thin to keep peace, to avoid conflict, to feel valued. But peace bought at the price of self-neglect is not peace at all. Learning to say no becomes an act of self-respect, not rebellion. 3. Fear of not being enough. Despite her achievements, degrees, and strength, many women still battle imposter syndrome, feeling like they're pretending, that someday someone will find them out. But the voice that says you're not enough is rarely your own. It's borrowed from a culture that doubted you before you even began. 4. Emotional suppression. She's told to calm down, to not be too sensitive, to toughen up. And so she learns to hold it in. She becomes a silent warrior, grieving, breaking, and rebuilding, all in silence. But suppressed emotion doesn't disappear. It builds, and sometimes the most radical act is simply to feel, openly and unapologetically. 5. Sacrificing dreams for others. She puts her career on pause for her children. She leaves her ambition behind for someone else's stability. She's told that this is what good women do. But losing yourself in someone else's life is not love. It's self-erasure. And your dreams? They matter. They are not selfish. They are sacred. 6. Overthinking appearance. From early girlhood, she's taught her worth is in the mirror. She's sold beauty before she's taught identity. Every wrinkle becomes a flaw. Every pound becomes shame. But beauty is not the shape of a body. It is the strength behind the eyes, the kindness in action, the truth in presence. Please do us a favor by hitting the subscribe button. 7. Fear of speaking up. She bites her tongue in meetings. She lowers her voice in rooms filled with louder men. She has ideas, but no space. Yet history is shaped by voices that refuse to stay quiet. And courage, over time, becomes her most powerful language. 8. Seeking validation through relationships, and many women are taught their value is in being chosen, as a wife, as a girlfriend, as desirable. And so they chase love to feel worthy. But the deepest love must begin with self-recognition, because no partner can complete you, only reflect the light you already carry. 9. guilt for wanting more. A woman asks for more money, more time, more space, and suddenly she's called ungrateful, greedy, demanding, and so she lowers her expectations. She learns to settle. But ambition is not a flaw. Wanting more is not a crime. It is a fire born from knowing you were made for more. 10. Staying silent to survive. Perhaps the most painful struggle of all. Silence in the face of harm. Whether abuse, inequality, harassment, or injustice. She stays quiet to stay safe, to stay employed, to stay accepted. But silence is not consent. And speaking out isn't weakness. It's warriorship. Short story. The Shadow Woman. There's a story of a woman in a small village who was known only by the name Shadow. She cooked, cleaned, served, and sacrificed, but never spoke of her own dreams. She stayed in the background, invisible, just as she was taught. One day, a child asked her, "Shadow, do you ever wish you were someone else?" She smiled and replied, "No, I only wish I had the courage to become who I was before the world told me to disappear." And from that day, she stopped answering to Shadow. She spoke her real name, and everything began to change. Please do us a favor by hitting the subscribe button. Conclusion: the power in facing the struggle. These aren't just weaknesses. They are the wounds through which strength is born. They are the stories behind the eyes, the fuel behind the fire, the beginning of the voice that says, "I may have been taught to shrink, but I was born to rise." So to every woman who has felt broken, small, lost, or silenced, your strength has never left you. It's simply been waiting for your permission to rise. Quote to end with: "She remembered who she was, and the game changed." Lala Delia.